Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso. Gift magical mornings with Nespresso Virtuo Pop. Compact and stylish, Virtuo Pop is made to meet every morning coffee craving. From espresso to coffee, hot or iced, at the click of a button. And celebrate the season with Nespresso's limited edition coffee flavors. Sweet almond and hibiscus, cinnamon and candied tamarind, and festive double espresso. Magic in the making. Shop the holiday gift collection exclusively at Nespresso.com.
Sunday morning. Well, with us today is Secretary Doug Burgum, and he was the governor of the great state of North Dakota, which we developed a great friendship with. Well, Mr. Secretary, I hope you had a great Christmas, and I can't believe it's a new year in just a few days. And you got great accomplishments last week on this new program that you and the president have announced.
Yes, well, and of course, President Trump's leadership has been incredible. And when you look back at the last year and what's been accomplished, whether it's securing the border, whether it's fighting crime, whether it's shrinking government, whether it's all the things that he's doing, and of course, it's all showing up. We got record capital investment coming in to the country. Interest rates are coming down. Taxes are coming down on January 1 as the big, beautiful bill kicks in. All of that's happening. And, of course, you saw it in the news last week that economic growth in the third quarter, 4.2%, the most it's been in a long, long time. Everybody said, President Trump's economic policies, all the economists said, we're going to have, bad outcomes from that. And what do we have? We've got the greatest growth we've had. President Trump right again about that. And when we look to 2026, he talks about an age of abundance and a golden age of abundance, and we're certainly set up to have a blockbuster of the year next year in terms of economic growth. And at the core of all that is energy policy. President Trump has turned around 180 degrees the policies of the prior administration, which was focused on heavily subsidizing intermittent, unreliable sources of energy that often required foreign suppliers, like all these offshore wind projects require. And when we've got affordable alternatives right here, and I know that people, around the country, if you're living in a part of the country where you're worried about your either the price of gas at the pump, or the price of your electrical bill, you need to talk to the politicians and the policymakers, because those are the folks that are setting the prices. The states that are following President Trump's lead, have gas prices that are 50% lower at the pump, Texas versus California. And you've also got electric prices in states like my home state of North Dakota is 1/3 of what the price is in New England. And that's all because of policies. And so if people, whether it's in New York or in California, want lower energy prices, one thing you have to do is follow President Trump's lead, build infrastructure. Let's use the amazing resources we have here in this country for reliable, affordable energy. And everybody can prosper even more, because we're getting 4.2% growth out of this country in that report last week, but it's not even. Not every state is growing as fast as the states that have followed President Trump's policies. So I'd say we're set up for a great 2026, and grateful for you, John, and grateful for your whole team for everything you do to get the word out, to help all your listeners around the country understand the great opportunity ahead of us.
Mr. Secretary, one important thing. I know we talked last week on the. You guys did a great job pausing the windmills in the ocean that were doing a lot of damage, and plus creating a security risk. And the cost of that electricity has been phenomenal, and probably even more than people think, because those things don't last forever. Those blades fall off at the end of 5 or 10 years. What is the highest? Is that the highest cost of electricity going forward versus what is the cost of small modular reactors versus windmills in the in the desert or wherever else. What is the future of America?
Well, offshore wind is the most expensive, and it's the most disruptive to the environment of these sources. And then if you go follow on from that, then you've got other sources. Nuclear, we can get the cost down on nuclear, but that could be 5-6 years away before we start reaching a scale with a small modular nuclear. We got the resource we have right now that's low cost and quick and accessible is natural gas. You can use it for heating your home. You can use it for producing electricity. You can turn it into fertilizer. It's an amazing resource. And it's just, again, the policies in this country, let's just say you've got, gases in some parts of our country is a couple of bucks, depending on supply. Other places maybe call it $5, but then we put it on a ship and we ship it to Europe for $10. But in New England, it's $20, and all we need is pipelines from Pennsylvania and New England. But if it's because whether it's oil in California that's being shipped into California by boat because they've blocked pipelines, or whether it's dirty foreign heating oil that's being offloaded in Boston because they blocked natural gas pipelines, and I say they, I mean politicians and the regulators that are doing that. I mean, if we had infrastructure around the country like we have in other states, then every state would have the same low prices because we've got such an abundant set of resources in our country. So, politicians and their policies are driving pricing, and President Trump's policies
and I know, Mr. Secretary,
more affordable.
We've talked. Me and you have talked about this before. I know we have a ton of crude oil up in gas and minerals up in Alaska.
Yes, so, we do. And Alaska, and we're just getting tapped into that. President Trump, one of his priority policies is getting a 800-mile natural gas pipeline from the North Slope down to the Anchorage area on this, where we've got open. Anchorage is warm; it never freezes. The ice, you can move ships in and out of there 12 months a year. It's 8 days from Anchorage to Tokyo, and it's like 24 days from the Middle East to Tokyo. We have an opportunity to sell energy to our friends and allies so they can stop buying from our adversaries. And we know that Iran was funding the war against Israel, funding 24 terror groups with oil sales. Russia's funding its war against Ukraine and Eastern Europe with oil sales. Venezuela funding their terror activities with oil sales. I mean, if the United States, being energy dominant, if we can sell energy to all of these folks, that's one of the ways that President Trump is ending the wars right now around the country. It's what his energy diplomacy is, peace diplomacy. And so when we're energy abundant, energy dominant in the U.S., it's prosperity at home and it's peace abroad.
That is wonderful news. I mean, the one thing that President Trump has done, he's put some real smart guys in charge like you and some of our other friends, Secretary Kennedy, and it just, we're making a lot of progress. And I feel good going into 2026.
Well, we all should feel good, and we mean about the opportunities that are there, and particularly, I mean, everybody in New England ought to feel like, wow, we're right next door to Pennsylvania, which has got they have 20% of the natural gas in the United States right now is coming out of Pennsylvania, and it's going to, we're heating homes in Europe. You can get natural gas from Pennsylvania cheaper in Europe when they're in the middle of a war with Russia than you can next door in New England. That is criminal in some ways for the people that live in New England. They should all have access to low-cost, affordable, reliable U.S. Clean energy, and it's for sitting there right next door. And just one little pipeline would heat more homes and drive more electricity than all 5 of those wind farms combined. And it would do it 7 by 24 as opposed to when only the wind was blowing. I mean, there's just no comparison in terms of price or reliability. And President Trump's common sense is coming through over and over again with the policies that he's driving.
Mr. Secretary, we hope we all have a happy new year. And I can't believe it's the new year on Thursday. And God bless you and your family. And I think our country, under President Trump's leadership and under his team's leadership, is going to have the greatest 2026 our country's ever had.
I agree. And blessings to you, John. Thanks for all you do and your family, and thanks for your philanthropy and everything you do to support so many great causes. And greetings to Rita and the whole gang. Always great to be with you.
Thank you so much.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.